Folks, how you doing? How you feeling? Welcome to our first episode of Search and Report, the podcast. I am your host, Fernie, and today I have Art Vargas, more commonly known on the internet as TheRockett. Art, an introduction.
Thanks for having me, Fernando. I'm excited to join this podcast of Search and Report. A little bit about myself. I'm a 30-year-old father, also a talent booking agent in the film industry. And I've been playing video games since 1995. My first game was Donkey Kong Country on the Super Nintendo and also Kirby's Dream Land on the Game Boy.
Amazing. I love Kirby's Dream Land soundtrack a lot.
Yeah.
Kirby games always have amazing soundtracks.
It brings back so much nostalgia, just like when you play the Super Smash games or just any Kirby game, really, and you hear the Green's soundtrack, and it just, it kicks into my little 5-year-old just with a Game Boy in like a restaurant with my family.
Yeah.
Brings back those memories.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm sure a lot of you already know who I am. I'm Fernie. My name's Fernando. I am a content creator both on YouTube and I do stream on Twitch as well. And now that Art kind of put me on the spot with a favorite game, I gotta say, definitely Majora's Mask. One of the best games ever, in my opinion. A lot of people hate that game for some reason, but I love it. It just brings a lot of good memories of my childhood. And I decided to do the search and report videos that I've been doing into a longer format because it's a lot of news that I tend to cover, and it's really hard to cover it in like 20 minutes. And also, I've always wanted to get someone to just bounce off these topics with, and Art is an amazing conversationalist. Just by looking at his streams, he knows what he's doing, and he's another amazing video game fan.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. You as well. I feel like we're both very, we're very informed on like the gaming news, and it's something that we don't talk enough about like with each other. Like I feel like if we were to do like collab streams more often, I think there would be a lot of conversation. Instead, like it's always when we do our individual streams, it's just us talking to chat, but we don't hear a voice at all. We just read text. But
Yeah.
I feel like we would have way longer conversations if we were to actually listen to each other versus just reading a chat.
Yeah, reading and typing. Especially because I just watch Twitch on my phone, and it's so hard to type as quick as I usually do. But without further ado, let's get straight into the first news item of the week.
Let's do it.
First news item, just Nintendo being Nintendo. The Big House, who are somewhat of, I think they were mostly event organizers. They had an event coming up where it was a melee tournament, and they were apparently going to be using a fan created, I don't know if I should call it an emulator. I don't really think it's an emulator, or is it at all? Slippy?
I believe so. So I've heard.
Yeah.
I've heard from the pro Smash players that it was an emulator, and I think that's like the main reason why they banned the tournament. Other than that, I don't know too much like of what was going on about the organization. So if you want to elaborate that, and I can some things.
Yeah, I'll go in with this the tweet that the Big House tweeted, not to sound redundant. But they tweeted out, "The Big House is heartbroken to share that we've received a cease and desist from Nintendo of America to cancel our upcoming online event. We were informed we do not have permission to host or broadcast the event, primarily due to the usage of Slippy. Sadly, all of our competitions are affected. We were forced to comply with the order and cancel the Big House online for both Melee and Ultimate. Refund information will be sent shortly. We apologize to all those impacted." I mean, this isn't the first time that Nintendo has shut down an online, just a tournament in general.
Online too.
Yeah.
I thought it was local. Like, I understand if it's local because COVID times, but online, that's so bizarre.
Well, I think they I think that one of the biggest attractions, or one of the biggest features of Slippy is the its connectivity. Like I think it uses rollback feature, something that like Ultimate is notorious for being terrible at, which is online. Project Slippy, it uses a sort of, I don't know the technical lingo, but it uses a better method to play online games.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean this is a completely fan funded project, which I'm imagining why Nintendo shut down this whole thing.
That makes a lot more sense to me now. I see why they did that. I thought it was just because they want to move on from Melee and they just shut it down in general. And then it's funny because last night I saw that Japan was having a Melee tournament locally, and
Oh
I'm just
really?
like, see, if we all wore masks and if the cases were down, then we could have that again.
Yeah.
And I saw other pros. Sorry to change the subject for just a little
Oh,
bit,
it's okay,
but
man.
I saw like people. I think Hungrybox, Best Ness, um, I forget his name, but they were all saying like, "I wish I was in Japan right now, doing a local, because that's all I really, you know, that's how their career was based on,
Yeah.
is doing locals, and they're having an audience and being able to sell their merch like through there.
Yeah.
So if we all followed what Japan, and what Vietnam did, then we would have local tourneys right now again.
Yeah. It's pretty sad. And this isn't the first time that Nintendo kind of like shut down fan projects.
Yeah.
I believe they also shut down tournaments with Project M. I don't know if you've heard of Project M. I'm sure you have.
It sounds familiar. I'm pretty sure I've heard of it.
Yeah, it was basically like a modded Melee game. It was smoother. I think it had better graphics. It was just an upgrade, a complete overhaul of the 2001 GameCube game. But here I have the Verge article. They wrote an article kind of going further into what this issue was, and also what Nintendo responded. Because as soon as they canceled this, Nintendo was like on their whole, they were still on their whole marketing rollout with like Hyrule Warriors and a bunch of other games, and like literally all the replies were like hashtag free Melee, just people completely, absolutely destroying Nintendo's name, and with good reason,
Mm-hmm.
Here The Verge says Nintendo objected to the organizers using Slippy, a software tool that makes Super Smash Bros. Melee playable online. Blah blah blah. They say the 2001 GameCube title is a mainstay in competitive Super Smash Bros. And translating its hyper fast-paced gameplay from an in-person tournament requires unofficial modding. Nintendo stated Nintendo appreciates the love and dedication the fighting game community has for the Super Smash Bros. Series. We have partnered with numerous Super Smash Bros. Tournaments in the past. Unfortunately, the upcoming Big House tournament announced blah 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 they say this tournament requires the use of illegally copied versions of the game in conjunction with a mod called Slippy. Yeah, apparently they contacted the tournament organizers, and they asked them to stop, but the organizers were like, hell no, we're still gonna go through with it. And they said, in a step to protect their intellectual property and brands, Nintendo sent a cease and desist. What do you think about it, man? Because I have a lot of opinions on this.
I mean, I get, it's funny because I feel like there's a lot of emulated projects that have already happened and they didn't stop that. Like, for example, one of my favorite video game series is of all time is Earthbound, which is also they made an emulator for Mother 3 because Reggie refused to create the Mother 3 in English. And that was a Game Boy Advance game, and they emulated and there was a fan project. I don't think they raised money. I'm not quite sure, but they made a full English translation of Mother 3. and they didn't stop that at all. Like, and people downloaded for free, they played for free,
Oh wow.
and Nintendo never stopped that. So it's just bizarre. I mean, I guess because Smash has, probably it's one of the biggest gaming communities. I can see why they caught that and they saw that happening, especially if it's a big event, then they shut it down.
Hmm.
Um, but it's just weird how, like, I feel like it was a lot of promotion for Nintendo too at the same time. Like they could have used that, but
Yep.
I feel like when it comes to the Nintendo Online, they have such a big reputation of letting people down when they want to do things their own way.
Hmm.
Like they're not going to let anybody stop them, like the way they do things, no matter how much feedback they get.
Yep. Yeah, I
Hmm.
mean it's common, it's common practice for Nintendo nowadays to, everybody knows how harsh and strict Nintendo is with their copyright issues,
Right.
but it just does not make sense to me why they care this much about a 20-year-old game. And especially because there's just no way to play play Melee online. There's absolutely
Yeah.
no way. If you go the legal way, or the Nintendo way, there's just absolutely no way.
Nope.
You can't really connect a GameCube to the internet. So
Yeah.
it's
Local.
it's a little bit sad. I mean, I obviously I'm a huge Nintendo fan, but these sort of things are definitely like indefensible.
Right.
Just let your community thrive and grow. Like it can only help you in the long run.
Yeah. Let them find a way.
Yeah,
I guess a part of that is also like telling them, hey, you guys need to start moving on from Melee now.
exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, hopefully Nintendo changes their course with these sort of things. It can only help them in the long run. It's just good PR to support your community, in my opinion.
Agreed.
Especially with such an old game. Like, is there any other fighting game out there that's old and has this sort of following? Like, I think Melee is one of the top fighting games still.
Yeah, agreed. I think that's literally the only one I can think of. And
Yeah.
they did bring back Super Mario 64, like on the Switch. Can you imagine if they did that with Melee?
Oh God, people would lose it.
Like Smash Ult, the way, like, I guess Smash Ultimate, it would just like the viewership would go downhill, like streaming wise, and then if they had Melee emulated on the Switch, then it would just skyrocket.
Yeah.
I feel like Ultimate would cease to exist after that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And I don't know. I mean, also, yeah, I can understand why people like Melee over Ultimate, mostly, because of the pacing and stuff.
Right.
It's definitely a completely different game than Ultimate, like
Mhm.
any way you see it. But
Like aside from less characters, the maneuvers and everything too.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, Melee only has Fox, so.
Yep.
But
Fox and Falco.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's there hasn't been an update. I mean, Nintendo did respond, but there hasn't been an update from the big house.
Mhm.
So I'm guessing, I mean, it's probably dead. It's dead in the ground, unfortunately. Um, yeah. So next news item, I kind of want to touch on, and this is a huge one. I'm sure we're gonna spend a lot of time here, talking about this. The infamous game that's never gonna come out is Cyberpunk 2077. Cyberpunk 27 CD Projekt Red recently released a comparison video on gameplay footage between the Xbox Series X and the Xbox One X, and people were, I mean, it was a mixed reception.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was their I think they've been doing these Nightwire specials for a while now. But people have been saying like this does not look next gen at all.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying that this still looks like last gen graphics. And I've been reading a little bit about why that is. I mean, they obviously have to optimize this game for so many platforms that they obviously can't just create a game for next gen. It's
Also, I think people were complaining about like the way it's compressed on YouTube. So I don't think people actually believe like this can't be it, right? Like it's just a compressed video and that's it. It's not it, it's not true. It can't be. Like
yeah.
people already own the Series X and they're already, they can see the difference based off a YouTube video and like they're coming from their actual console.
Yeah, yeah. Obviously, there's going to be some compression on that. But what did you think about the? Did you see this video? The one I linked on
I did.
the document.
I like so I'm a guy I'm always gameplay over graphics like any day, for sure. And then I got a PC and I bought the Avengers game and then like that was like my first actual PC game in a long time and I thought like holy crap, like no wonder why people prefer like are so critical about graphics.
Yeah.
It looked absolutely gorgeous. So I can see why there was a lot of criticism on the video itself. And I
Mhm.
even saw some really weird, like I guess Keanu Reeves in parts of the game look. There's a scene where he's in an elevator in that YouTube video.
Yeah.
It didn't look next gen to me at
Mm-mm.
all. It looked like Xbox. Hell, just like maybe even regular Xbox, not Xbox 360. Xbox 360. Let's say
Mm.
that. It looked
Yeah.
like that to me. Like it was the graphics, like it was still loading. I wasn't. I was impressed with the gameplay. Graphics, not so much.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that this was just a bad video compression, and I'm still gonna buy it regardless. I don't know on which console yet or
Mhm.
which platform, but we'll see. I'm pretty impressed with the gameplay. It feels like Grand Theft Auto first person shooter, obviously in the future. So I'm regardless, I'm still excited.
Yeah. And to address to the thing you did say, like it did seem like it was a lot of these aren't pre-rendered cutscenes, so a lot is like in-game. It looks like in-game graphics, but like you said, the animations just look very like stiff. They don't look very fluid. It doesn't look like they put too much attention into these kinds of animations. So
Yeah.
I can definitely see what you're talking about.
Mhm.
Um, which is, I mean, it's weird. This game's been in development for apparently pre-production started in 2012.
I feel
So
like I can put a side by side comparison of like just a still of Keanu Reeves in that elevator versus a Halo 2 like on Xbox 360, I don't know, screenshot and
yeah.
seeing compare it to be like, see, they look the same.
I mean, now that I think of it, when GTA 5 was ported over to the PS4 and the Xbox One,
Mhm.
I do remember that you had the ability to switch between first person and third person view.
Okay.
And now that I look at it, like even GTA 5 animations in between, like even stories, like they look pretty much similar to these the ones they just showed to us. Like I'm seeing the footage, and you can't see my screen, but I'm at like minute 5:20 of that video, and like the dude that's just sitting in the chair talking, like even mouth movements, like you don't see a lot of emotion, you don't see a lot of I don't know, it just doesn't seem very next gen-y.
There's actually here, I want to look over the comments.
What they say.
Because the comments on this video are really funny. They notice the smallest mistakes. Um, where is it exactly? I remember something about like someone's hair that's just floating and
Oh
has like
yeah, 620.
yeah, 620.
Yeah, there's just a wig flying.
Yeah, there's a wig flying. You don't see. There's no head model either.
Yeah, this is looking a little bit rough.
Yeah, so there's that, and then 826. You see a cigarette moving up and down the finger, like
Oh yeah, on his right hand.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
so bizarre. Like you
yeah,
don't see. movement like that in real life.
No. Yeah, and it's like, don't get me wrong, like the environment, the city looks great. I feel I mean, it looks good. Another complaint people were having is that it looks very empty. Like there's not a lot of people on the streets and stuff like that. But yeah, I think they're not putting a lot of I don't know, quality, or they have a lot of things to iron out still.
Right.
And this is like, I honestly don't think they'll delay the game anymore, because it's been getting delayed for like almost a year now. I think they're just gonna release it incomplete, and they're gonna keep updating it as or patching it in as time goes on. But
December 10th is not too far away at all, so there's no way they can fix what they're doing right now.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean,
at this point, they've probably, I don't even know like how, when it comes to game shipping, like how it works, but I'm sure they've already shipped out copies to like GameStop, or they have that scheduled probably in the next 5 days or so.
Oh yeah, there's already reports of people leaking gameplay online.
There you go.
Yeah, I saw a couple. Yeah, they definitely shipped the game out already. I'm showing right here. I'm on Spawn Wave.
I don't.
The YouTuber. Well, he does great stuff. He does mostly the gaming news stuff. Watch him a lot. He said, he tweeted, Cyberpunk 2077 is showing up at retail stores, and it looks like some are starting to get out into the wild, with gameplay popping up online for the PS4. So, yeah, it's gonna be tough.
What platform are you gonna get Cyberpunk on?
Well, man, we'll see. We'll see in the next 3 hours. I still haven't got my confirmation for the PS5. Bro, I got the confirmation email at 2 a.m. last night. This morning. And like, I've seen a lot of people get their shipping, their orders canceled for the past, ever since last night, actually. Yeah. And I kind of feel that Kohl's definitely oversold. They didn't have, first of all, weird ass retailer to buy a PS5 from, Kohl's. But yeah, we'll see. But definitely PS5. If I do get it, I'll get it on PS5.
Sweet.
Yeah. And you're gonna get you're getting the Xbox Series X, right?
Yeah, I'm hoping by Christmas. We'll see if I can score one on Black Friday, because I heard on Black Friday they're supposed to go in stock. I think both consoles, PS5 and Xbox Series X. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is the most anticipated game, like next gen. So yeah. I mean, I want to see it succeed.
Right.
We'll see.
I think what's going to happen is, because it comes out December 10th, and the likelihood of me not scoring a console until like before the Christmas holidays, I think I'm gonna buy it on PC first, because I think I want to be safe rather than sorry.
Yeah,
and just be able to try it out, and if I like it enough, then definitely on my next gen console, whichever one I end up scoring.
Yeah, I would get PC too if my computer wasn't a toaster.
Yeah.
No, I seriously doubt it can even boot it up. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, less than 2 weeks, we'll get something. Yeah.
Less than 2 weeks.
Nice.
Fingers crossed for good reviews.
Yeah, we'll see. On our third news item of the week is another leak. Man, I feel like video games get attacked with leaks every single month. I remember a couple of months ago, Nintendo had like the Super Giga leak, and like, what was it? Well, I can't even remember if there was a leak last month, but we had a massive leak from Capcom. I can't say their name. They basically leaked out a release schedule, or I should say development schedule, not really a release. Here, IGN reports a screenshot from the leak shows a Capcom development schedule for the next 4 years. And IGN believes at least portions of that lease to be legitimate, including listings for Dragon's Dogma 2 and Street Fighter 6. Earlier this week, Capcom confirmed it was the victim of a customized ransomware attack that led to unauthorized access to its network. And here's the worst part. Capcom says corporate, employee, and customer information may have been compromised by the attack.
Oof.
So if you've recently bought a game from Capcom, I would definitely look into your credit card activity.
I have not, unless it was like a remake of like Marvel vs. Capcom. You know what? I did buy Monster Hunter World, but that was like a while back. So
yeah, I think you should be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty. It sucks because now we know. Like now there's no hope for like a hype trailer for Resident Evil 4 remake,
Right.
Street Fighter 6,
Mhm.
nothing like that. So
I'm seeing on a document it says Rockman match. Do they mean Mega Man?
oh, that was one of the yeah, Mega Man in North America. So there you go, another big one that they spoiled.
Yeah.
A Mega Man game apparently is coming out in 2022.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
I think I'm trying to remember. Was it Mega Man 64? It was definitely like I remember the open world Mega Man games on the Dreamcast.
The 3D one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those were outstanding. The 2D one, like, yeah, I've been a Mega Man fan for years, but like I feel like there was a version on GameCube. I think it was like I can't remember which game it was, but it was one of the 2D ones, not an open world. I could not get past a single level, man. I was just like, this is so infuriating. I'm hoping for like one of those old Dreamcast Mega Man again. I think Mega Man Legends.
Yeah, Mega Man games. I don't think I've ever beaten a Mega Man game ever in my life.
I was on PlayStation. That's what it was. Mega Man Legends. That was such a good.
Mega Man games are always so good.
Yeah,
they're ruthless as well.
Yeah.
definitely not a casual game.
Right. What Capcom games do you see on here that you'd be interested in? Obviously, you said Resident Evil, right?
Yeah, I remember when Resident Evil 4 came out, it came out for the GameCube. I remember it came out for the GameCube, and me and a friend used to play it all the time. But I'm not big on horror games. I'm a little bit of a coward like that.
Yeah.
I just my anxiety can't take it.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely excited for Monster Hunter 6. I did play a little bit of Monster Hunter World on the PS4. I'm excited for the Monster Hunter that's coming out for the Switch. I think it's an exclusive for the Switch. It looks really, really good.
That's awesome.
And yeah, I think probably just Resident Evil 4 remake. I'll probably get that just for like nostalgia.
Yeah.
For the nostalgia factor.
Based on the article, when is this Monster Hunter 6 supposed to release?
Q2 of 2023. So we still got some.
You still have some time.
Yeah.
It'll be a while.
Yeah. Hopefully I forget about it and then I'll be surprised again.
Yeah. I never got into it, but there are a couple streamers that I watch that play that, and now I'm more intrigued into the Monster Hunter, and I feel like that's something I should definitely invest my time to.
Yeah, it's a great game to get into with friends, definitely.
Yeah.
Look
into it.
Yeah.
But, I just hope my friends who have been playing like the Monster Hunter expansions are not affected by this breach.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how many people, based on the article, how many people have been affected by it.
Yeah. I don't think they've released that information yet. Here in the article, where was it? There we go. Capcom detected the ransomware attacks in the early morning hours of November 2nd, 2020. The attack destroyed and encrypted data on Capcom servers, and criminal organization Ragnar Locker messaged the company demanding a money ransom for the compromised information. So yeah, that was what I was talking about. Yeah.
So was this in North America, Japan, or was it both?
I think it was both. Well, I think they don't specify where Ragnar Locker, that criminal organization, is based out of. I mean, if they knew, I'm pretty sure they would already like captured them. Or but they say Capcom says it will continue coordinating with law enforcement in Japan and the United States. So I mean, they're still kind of gauging how much damage this attack actually caused. They don't even know yet. That's how crazy this leak is. So
Same.
hey man,
Check your accounts.
You gotta enable you gotta enable 2-step notification. Let me call Capcom real quick and tell them that.
Here, I have their number.
Yeah, but yeah, hopefully customers aren't affected. So if not, just be on the lookout for your credit card info being out there in the dark web.
Yeah, for
sure. Now going forward to our fourth news item of the week. We got finally the nominees for the Game of the Year awards. We got, surprisingly, but not really surprisingly, Animal Crossing New Horizons, Doom Eternal, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, which I absolutely recommend everybody to play it. Hades, which I hear is a great game. I haven't checked it out, but everybody says it's one of the best games this year. And then The Last of Us Part 2. What do you think of this list, man?
I honestly, I don't think any of these games come out as a surprise to me. They're all, they're all so well developed, really polished. I've heard nothing but good things about every single one of them.
Yeah. I kind of expect. I mean, I don't. Do you know what the basis is to get nominated as Game of the Year? Like, I'm sure it has to do with impact as well, like sales numbers and stuff like that.
I think it's definitely based on that. I mean, Animal Crossing New Horizons is now Nintendo's most sold game on the Switch.
Yep.
So that makes sense. I think the one that I don't have much to comment about is Doom Eternal.
Oh yeah, I've been playing it. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's definitely hectic, but I can see why it got nominated.
Yeah. The graphics look great, but I'm not a gore person.
Yeah.
Even though I played Gears of War, like most of the Gears of War games, just because I was hooked on the story. But based on that level of gore, I've never been, attached to those games at all.
Yeah, it is a little bit gory. But yeah, no, graphics wise, Doom Eternal isn't like, it's not its forte. I think it still looks really nice, but I think the gameplay is what really gave it its Game of the Year nomination.
I see.
Yeah, it's basically like platforming. It's a first person shooter. It's hectic, like it's crazy. I definitely think like my top choice for Game of the Year personally is, I don't hate to say it because I love the game, is Animal Crossing.
Right. Oh yeah.
It's so impactful, and people keep theorizing that the only reason it got nominated was because of the pandemic, because people were stuck inside.
Yeah.
That Animal Crossing is such a good game for the casual player. So.
Yep. It's like I said again, I'll repeat myself. It's the most it's the highest selling game on the Switch. They update it every month, every 2 months, depending, obviously. And it's a game you can play all year round. That's what I did with the original Animal Crossing in the GameCube. I think I played that for like a year and a half straight. No other games.
Wow.
I feel like New Horizons is something I'm doing similar with. Recently I have been, not playing like for a day or a couple of days, but I remember like early I was like, I can't go a day without playing this game because something different's going to happen. And I think that's what's so special about it is it's your second life. It's like, Sims, whatever, but it's different.
Yeah. It's I mean, it's like, yeah, it's, like you say, second life. It's just, if it doesn't, I don't want to call it a chore, but it's something you got to do every day. You got to wake up, boot it up, shake trees, get the furniture,
meet the NPC that's visiting the island.
Exactly.
catch the new bugs, catch the new fish,
Get new
uh,
recipes.
new recipes, meet the villagers, do task for those villagers, and you know, um, have a visitor at the campsite. See if you want to replace one of your villagers with the campsite villager.
Yeah.
Get new designs, new clothes from the store, new items from the Nook's store. All and I can go on and on.
Yeah, I mean, it's an ever evolving game. It's just, I mean, there are times where there's a lull and like things to do, but it's still, it's such a good game. It's a good sim game.
Right.
Um, yeah, and then my second pick, and I think just because of how much I played this game, is Ghost of Tsushima. It's honestly like, if it doesn't win Game of the Year, it's definitely going to win Art Direction, because the direction the game developers took, it was all inspired on old Japanese movies. It was based on a lot of design choices, and a lot of artistic choices are based behind Kurosawa, the Japanese director. So like, it's just it's a beautiful game. If you're into like filmmaking, if you're into cinematography and all that, honestly, get this game, play it. Like, photo mode is so well decked out. I mean, honestly, I spent a quarter of my time in photo mode, just taking screenshots and setting up scenes and stuff like that. So
I've never heard something like that except for like a game like Pokemon Snap, where you're in photo mode the entire time.
yeah,
But yeah, that must mean no, yeah, I believe that. Like watching you play on Twitch, I was definitely wowed by like the cinematography and photo mode and everything that was going on in that game.
yeah, it's so good. And it's more notable because the developers, and I talk about this, I've already talked about this so many times, but the developers aren't known for like open world games. They I think I made a whole video on this game, and I already forgot what they developed. I think they did Infamous. I don't know if you ever played that game.
No, I did not.
Sucker Punch Studios. They did Infamous. They created Sly Cooper. I don't know if you remember those games from the PS2 era. What's that?
No, I remember Sly Cooper.
Yeah. So like, they're not really known for open world games, which is amazing. Like, you would expect this level of quality from Ubisoft. I mean, debatable. Ubisoft has some glitchy ass games,
Right.
but yeah. So it'll be interesting to see who wins. I hope if Animal Crossing wins, man, the memes are going to be amazing.
Yep.
Can't wait for that.
Last of Us, though, that the story is outstanding. I don't know if you've seen more gameplay on that.
Mm-mm. But go ahead. The story's already ruined for me. So I don't
Oh,
mind.
you saw the end of it.
I didn't see the ending, but honestly, it's a game that I'll probably never get to play.
I see. Is it because of the horror or?
That, and also, I don't know. I played the first one, and I played like 10 hours of it, and I was like, I mean, it's a story game. You're just going from point A to point B. Like, I don't know. I like exploration in games, so it's just not my cup of tea. It's still a great game though.
No, yeah. I think I can see Last of Us 2 winning. I think I mean, not first choice. Like, obviously, as an Animal Crossing fan, I want Animal Crossing to win.
Yeah.
But I can definitely see Last of Us 2, Part 2 taking it. I think it's well polished. The story is great. Um, the horror feel to it is great, and also just outside of that, it's all around. I've never played it myself, but I there are streamers that I watch, and I kind of followed them because I was really intrigued by the storyline
Mm.
and the gameplay of it. It's just like bone chilling, and the there's just some moments like where you're like on the edge of your seat watching that game. I can definitely see Last of Us 2 taking it.
Mm. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
Mhm.
It definitely ticks off a lot of game of the year, characteristics. So
Right.
we'll see.
So I think if I were to rank like three of them like in order based off who I think is gonna win, Last of Us 2 first, Animal Crossing second, Ghost
Mhm.
of Tsushima third.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And as much as I loved Final Fantasy VII remake, it's yeah, like they
The
did
camera control, man.
yeah, the camera
I
control.
watched you struggle.
The camera control and like they definitely innovated a lot on the gameplay. It's it's not turn based anymore. It's like a weird combination of turn based and live action. But I don't know. I think if they would have released the whole story of the original Final Fantasy VII, because this is only the first part, and I don't know how many parts there's gonna be. I feel it would have definitely been higher in the list.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't disagree. Last of Us Part Two can definitely take it easily.
Yeah. I think what Final Fantasy, I think obviously what they needed was a little bit, it just needed to be a little bit more polished.
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
other than that, I don't see a reason why like it couldn't have been better. I
Yeah,
feel like they nailed it. The gameplay too is it looks fun, um, but some things were a little bit wonky graphics and control wise from what it looks like.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
definitely.
and Hades, what are your thoughts on that?
And Hades, I have not. I haven't even watched a single video. I haven't seen any gameplay. I mean, I know that it's a dungeon crawler, and I
Yeah,
know that people love it because of the characters. They say that
right.
the writing is amazing, and it's one of the funniest
Okay.
games ever.
Interesting. Okay, because
Yeah,
that's something I didn't know about. I watched a little bit of gameplay from Twitch streamers, but apart from that, I'm not sure about like I can't comment on the dialogue and the writing because I haven't seen much of that. But
yeah,
um, dungeon crawlers are honestly not my thing.
yeah.
Um, but based off what I've heard from a lot of people, it looks good. Gameplay is
Hmm.
not as bad as I imagined. I would if there was a demo I could download and play, I would play it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I mean, I haven't heard any single negative in that game. And Jesus, on Steam it has a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, crazy, right?
Wow.
So it's like it's almost like, the reviews and based off what people say, it makes you want to buy it or download it, a demo at least.
Yeah, yeah. If I get this game, I'm definitely getting it on the Switch though. It looks like the perfect game for a Switch.
Yeah, I can see that.
Nice. Well, yeah, we'll see. I when do they announce the winners? I think it's
December
December
10th.
December 10th. Yeah, yeah. They're gonna be streaming it December 10th. Isn't that when Cyberpunk releases?
Yep.
Oh
So
god.
you best bet there's going to be a lot of advertisement for that on that day.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's gonna be a crazy day.
Oh yeah.
December 10th. Awesome.
Awesome.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, our final. Well, no, not really, because we're gonna talk about the Xbox Series X and the PS5.
Yeah.
Because we haven't really touched upon they were recently released.
Right.
If you play,
Especially with Black Friday coming out next week, we'll see how many people score
yeah,
their next gen console and see how the sales are.
yeah. Well, hopefully me. Uh yeah. Well, before that, there was a Animal Crossing winter update.
Yes.
You're the expert on this.
So it's funny. Uh, Again, like I feel like there's been a lot of letdowns with the recent updates, just because they're only announcing like holiday stuff,
Mm,
not much on more things you can do. But there's a lot of things that they also didn't announce in this update, and that's you can all there's a lot of new items that people don't know about that you can get like seasonal wise. Christmas, there's a lot of like different toys you can get. Uh,
what?
Yeah. On Toy Day, which the reindeer, I forget his name, comes and gives you gifts to give to your villagers. And he gives you, I think I'm not sure whether it's only one gift or multiple gifts, but there's different variations of items that he gives you. And I think he only gives you one of those. So there's a lot of different items to collect, not connect, to collect that day. Plus, a lot of DIYs. There's a lot of new Christmas furniture. So that's what I like about these updates is sometimes you don't know what exactly they don't announce everything. You have to kind of find these things out for yourself. But
Yeah.
people do find out within like in less than 24 hours because you know how people leak gameplay and
Yeah.
uh, you know serious like major plots of like games like like before one night of sleep.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, there's a lot of new content in the winter update. Plus, you can upgrade your storage up to 800 more items,
Yeah.
which is fantastic because I literally reached the peak of my storage right before this update came out. So I was just
Oh,
like, oh, thank God, I can buy
perfect
more
timing.
storage. So it was perfect timing on that. Um, but the only thing is, we I feel like Animal Crossing fans we're craving a lot more. We want some nostalgia in these updates, which is Cap'n. He's a little turtle that takes you to a random island. But then again, if you think about it, that's the same thing as using a Nook Mile ticket
Yeah.
to visit an island. But still, you want something else like to bring back memories from the previous Animal Crossing games. So there's that. I think we'd want Cap'n. We'd want Brewster, which is he's
He's
I
an
can't comment
icon.
what. Yeah, he's an icon. What you do is he'd open a cafe shop. What people were predicting was it would be the top of the museum, but instead that turned into like a literal art, like painting and statue part of the museum. People were predicting
Mm.
that his cafe shop would be there, but now we don't know where that's going to be. Hopefully, they announce that sometime in the future. But I'd really like to make coffee for my villagers. Um, just like to have a coffee shop in the Animal Crossing world. I think it'd bring back a lot of nostalgia.
Yeah.
So
Get them hooked on caffeine.
yeah, hopefully we get a little bit more content to Animal Crossing other than holidays. But based off what they have announced for um, next end of January, I believe they have another another NPC coming to Animal Crossing. Um, Apart from that, I'm really satisfied um, with the content they've released so far. I mean, obviously, like not every single fan can be satisfied, but I'm pretty happy with everything they've come out like this year. It keeps me playing the game, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Sorry, I was talking this entire time. I'm not sure what your thoughts are on it.
Oh, it's okay. I mean, like I said, I play Animal Crossing almost daily, but not to the extent that you probably do because your island is amazing, man.
Yeah,
Every time
thank
I
you.
visit it, it's like, dang, I got a lot of work to do. But yeah, it's like you said, it's great the way they release stuff. Like they update. And so far, it's only been holiday updates, but
Yep.
I like that they don't tell you exactly what is included in every single update. So at least you still got that little element of surprise.
Hmm.
It's looking super fun. I'm more than anything, I'm more excited that you can finally sit down. You have more reactions.
Yep.
Yeah. You got a lot of more things to do with your villagers. So I feel like that's the interaction you were missing in Animal Crossing. Customization, they added a lot of more I was talking about with my girlfriend about this. They added more black hairstyles now. So
Oh yeah.
a
That's
lot more inclusion now. So yeah, I mean, they look like they're listening to fans. They're
Yeah, that's what I love about Nintendo is they they add a lot of diversity to each game, to Pokemon, to Animal Crossing. There's a lot they recognize other cultures more than any other. I want to say more than Xbox and PlayStation.
Yeah.
They're really aware of it, and it makes a huge impact on in the rest of the world.
Yeah. It's yeah. I mean, Pokemon. They still, man. I've been playing Pokemon for like the past 2 months, and it's the only thing I don't like is the hairstyles. There's no hairstyles in that game. But I get it, it's a Pokemon game. It's not supposed to be like, a highly customizable game.
It's like very Final Fantasy, where it's like everybody has a wacky, like long hair,
Yeah,
something like that.
the Goku hairstyle.
Yeah, seriously.
Um, yeah, I mean, besides that, it's hey, at least they're listening, man. They're listening to
yeah.
Animal Crossing fans, and they absolutely hate Smash Bros. Fans. So, don't you just love Nintendo?
Just Nintendo in general.
Yeah. But yeah, there will be another update at the end of January.
Yep. They're bringing
next...
back a character from New Leaf. I never played New Leaf, honestly. I played City Folk, and I played the very first Animal Crossing. So this character from New Leaf, I believe, is like a fashion guru.
Okay.
So I think you're supposed to, based on what I've seen, it's basically a Mardi Gras type of character.
Yeah, she has like the beaded like headpiece.
We'll see if it's like fashion items like that new character brings, or if it's like Mardi Gras related furniture. I think that's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't see another holiday that they can bring up.
Not
so
really.
they have to add more than just holidays next year. That's for sure.
Definitely Valentine's Day, because the game released on March of this year. So I think after Mardi Gras, it's probably going to be the same update, Mardi Gras and Valentine's Day.
Right. Here's my prediction. I want to say on the Animal Crossing New Horizons anniversary, which I believe was March 20th or March 16th. It's definitely in between those days. I think they're going to come out with a big update. It's going to be like version 2.0. They're going to have, fingers crossed, not only what I stated previously, Rooster and Cap'n, but they're also going to have new villagers, and they're going to bring in the villagers are going to have a lot more dialogue, and there's just going to be a lot more content than there was before.
Yeah.
That's what I predict, and hopefully we'll see.
Hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they really, I think that'd be a great surprise.
Yeah.
For everybody.
For sure.
Nice. Well, to touch, I think, on our final news item of the week, you wanted to talk console.
Yeah, I wanted to talk consoles because both of us don't have a console, a next gen console right now, because they sold out everywhere.
Yeah.
Funny story. I went to Best Buy just because I was dropping off my daughter at daycare. Best Buy is like a few blocks away, and then I thought, and it was the day of the PS5 release, and I thought, why not just go and see, go check it out. It was 8 a.m. Best Buy doesn't open till 10. I drove there. It's open. And I'm just like, wait, what's going on? And then people were already, I see people walking out with their PS5 boxes.
Oh, nice.
And I'm just like, oh, they opened it early for those who are purchasing a PS5. I go walk towards the door. I'm just like, great. Maybe if I'm lucky, because it's before store hours, I can score one. Guy stops me. He's just like, hang on, did you already buy one online, or did you purchase one? I'm like, no. And then he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't think we could be sold out of PS5s. And I literally see boxes right there.
Oh god.
I see huge boxes of PS5. I'm just like, right there. Like, did you reserve one? I'm like, no. I'm like, and then he stops me. A family walks in, like, right behind him. And I'm just like, oh yeah, sorry, I can't let you in until like it's store hours. I'm like, somebody just like walked in like right behind you, dude. Like, what do you think I'm gonna do? Is steal one?
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I'm also way shorter than this guy, so I'm just like so confused
That's so
why
weird.
why he stopped me specifically and not the family. But then as soon as I'm like, okay, I just wanted to, I told him like, I just wanted to walk in and see, like, if you guys had any available. Like, no worries, it's fine. Like,
Mhm.
I understand. So I walk away. One of the other guards gets mad at the guard that stopped me for not stopping that family that walked in. So it's just like you can only do so much, you know?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been a hectic release. Like, I mean, I can't speak for Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series S because I don't want to say I'm a Sony fanboy, but I do
Right.
have a preference for Sony, so I haven't kept up to date with how available they've actually made the Xbox Series X. Is it really hard to get your hands on?
You know what? I heard Walmart actually released some. They had more consoles come out on November 17th, which was 5 days ago.
Yeah.
So I heard they sold out still, but I heard they released more. So I think they should be. I mean, obviously on Black Friday they're gonna have more in stock. I think they'll be having um more available in the next couple of weeks.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it doesn't surprise me, but one obviously you want a PS5.
Yeah.
I'm definitely getting an Xbox at some point. As a committed Halo fan, and as horrible as the Infinite trailer looked, I'm still committed. I have my Xbox gamer tag that I've been an Xbox Live member for, I want to say, since Xbox first came out.
Dang.
Yeah. So I'm like 10 years, 10, 11 years, somewhere
Yeah.
around there. Um, so yeah, I'm definitely committed to Xbox. I know I have to get one at some point, but I'm not gonna lie. I'm I think I'm really drawn to a PS5, like based off what I've seen on graphics on PC now.
Mhm.
So sell me on PS5.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna say that PS5 is the more powerful console because it's not. The Xbox Series X has like a little bit of an advantage as far as hardware
Okay,
goes.
great.
The only problem I've seen recently is that a lot of games, not many games have been made for the Xbox Series X as of
Yes,
right now. It's
very true.
all, yeah, it's all last gen,
Yep,
which is great because the Xbox has definitely way better backwards compatibility than the PS5.
yep.
Like it's an all-in-one console, the Xbox Series X, especially with Game Pass. You get an Xbox Series X, like, and you get Game Pass, you're set till the next Halo, basically.
Yep, for sure.
The only thing that the PS5 does have over the Xbox is it has more launch titles. It has
Yes.
more games made for the PS5. It has Miles Morales. It has Demon Souls. It has
Quite a few.
Godfall. Yeah, it has Godfall. It has uh, what's that? I forget that other. It's a game related to Little Big Planet. Sackboy.
Oh, Sackboy. Okay.
Yeah, Sackboy.
My
So
brother loved Little Big Planet.
yeah, so those games look great on the PlayStation 5. There's been a couple of um cross-platform games that I've been seeing that do perform way better on the PS5, like Dirt 5. I think it's Dirt 5. Um but that's because a lot of these developers, they didn't get dev kits for the Xbox
Mhm.
Series X until June of 2020. So they all the games they developed with like almost a year in advance for the PS5 before the Xbox Series X. So I'm sure the Xbox Series X is gonna, once games catch up to it'll definitely be the better console graphics wise.
Okay.
But I mean, honestly, I'm only getting it because I'm a huge like Marvel fan.
Yeah.
I like Spider-Man games.
Yeah.
I like story-based games a lot. So
Mhm.
I know Sony is way, they have a wider variety of story games, single
Yeah.
player than Xbox.
Right. That's true. Um, What I don't know if you've played like online on both Xbox and PlayStation.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on like the way PlayStation Online is compared to Xbox? Because I know Xbox has a big reputation for the online play, and that's why like I'm still like attached to my Xbox. But like you said, PS5. I don't know. Actually, I don't even know if you said it has more exclusive games, but you said it has Spider-Man. You said it has Dark Souls,
Hmm.
and that's the reason why I'm sort of drawn to the PS5 is I want to try out Spider-Man, and I think Final Fantasy 16, if I'm not wrong, if that's going to be exclusive to PlayStation. So
I don't know. Yeah, yeah, it's definitely gonna be because I think Final Fantasy is an exclusive to it's a Sony IP.
right,
Um, yeah, I mean, as far as online, I've only ever played online a few times, a few sessions on the PS4, and
okay,
it's okay. It's I mean, they don't really offer anything. You can buy the PS4 Plus subscription, and you get a free game each month. But like,
right,
if you compare it to Xbox Game Pass, like it's night and day. Like Xbox Game Pass is definitely the way better value.
got it.
Um,
Good to know.
I mean, I haven't played Xbox Online since the 360 days, so I don't know how they still handle party systems. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know if you can just boot up and get in a party, or
right.
yeah, I don't know. I'm not huge on online games,
Okay.
and
So we're
if
the
I
opposite when it comes to that. We're
yeah
definitely the opposite. You're more single player. I'm more online and multiplayer.
yeah definitely, and if I ever play multiplayer, I just play on my PC
Yeah,
because it's free. You know, online is free.
that's true.
So, and I'm cheap, so it's probably the only reason why I play. But they're both great consoles. They both have their pros and cons. Currently
Sure.
the PS5 is winning just because of how many launch titles it has in comparison. But
Yeah, agreed.
eh,
So yeah, there's two editions. There's the digital, and then there's obviously the disc one.
mhm,
Which one are you looking forward to purchase?
I'm getting the physical one
Okay.
because I'm a huge physical fanboy, and
Yeah.
honestly, I just don't like I don't like solely digital games because it feels like I don't own them,
I
and
see.
I also don't. I love deals. So whenever you have a physical version of a game, like it's usually cheaper just because you can
Really?
get it used. Well, you can get it used, or you can
Oh, yeah.
buy. You
Good point.
can, yeah, you can go to like I don't know a retailer that sells used games and get it for like $15, and it's like a AAA title. So that's the only reason why I ever get physical games. You can get some good deals on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're getting the Series X or the Series S?
Good question. And I want you to actually, if you can, look it up. Like, well, we can look it up together. What are the differences between the two? Because
Oh,
obviously, I
huge.
love, I love the way the Series S looks. I love how it's like, it's so, and I saw it when I went to Best Buy not too long ago. It's so small.
It
It's
is very
smaller than
small.
the Xbox One S.
Yep.
I can pack it in my suitcase and just take it with me. Obviously, like I wouldn't want to risk like getting it damaged, but um it looks so great. But at the same time, um, you know, what's I mean, obviously I'm sure the difference is one's 4K, one's another pixel. Like, I don't know. Can we
Um,
elaborate on that a bit?
yeah. The Xbox Series X. I mean, the shared features. I'm on the Xbox site.
Yeah,
They
me
have
too.
a quick resume. They got ray tracing, which is amazing.
Okay.
I didn't know that a Series S has ray tracing.
See, we're both learning as we're talking to each other.
Yeah.
Live.
They both can play games up to 120 frames per second, which is always amazing.
Insane.
Um, yeah, they're both backwards compatible, so you can play games across 4 generations. Wow.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, this is I didn't know the Xbox Series S was this powerful. See, I'm learning.
See, that's
Um,
insane.
yeah, I think the main differences is obviously the internal storage. The Xbox Series S has less than half of what the Xbox Series X has. The Xbox Series X has 1 terabyte. The Xbox Series S has 512 gigabytes.
I think that's what's already selling me on the Series X.
Yeah.
Storage.
Yeah, definitely.
Games take up so much storage nowadays. I don't know how much. Do you remember how much they said Cyberpunk? How many gigs it was going to be? I heard it was like 70. I think.
Oh, that's it.
I think so.
Oh, that's not too bad. Storage requirements.
Sorry if my keyboard's really loud.
Oh, mine is
80
too.
gigabytes.
Yeah.
That's still a lot.
That's still quite size. I mean, in my head, I'm always comparing the size of a game to Modern Warfare. Yeah. Warzone is like 200 gigabytes. Is extremely big for no reason.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, games take up a lot. So yeah.
Yeah. Nowadays, you got to go with like the bigger storage.
Yeah, there's no way about it. But they both have the 1 terabyte Seagate storage expansion cards, which are extremely expensive. They're like $200.
Yeah.
And I don't like that they're. I don't know. That's another thing that I think PS5 also does. I mean, I'm sure. I don't know if they're compatible. I'm sure they would be other storage external drives that you can connect to through the USB ports. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They still haven't elaborated on the PS5 compatibility, like what kind of hard drives you can use for it. But I'm sure Xbox is Microsoft, so it probably works with any other PC external hard drive. So that should be great. Up to 120 FPS. The processor is definitely way underpowered in comparison to the Xbox Series X.
Yeah.
The resolution, Xbox Series S can only project up to 1440p, and the Xbox Series X can do true 4K.
There's true 4K? Is it different than 4K?
I don't know.
But it's not just 4K; it's true 4K.
True 4K. I'm sure it's like some small like pixel count differences, if anything. Yeah. But like honestly, a lot of people they get so caught up on resolutions.
I was gonna say,
and they're playing on like 1080p TVs. Like,
yep, exactly.
It doesn't really matter. Like, you're only gonna be playing in 1080p. You can't.
Not at all.
You can't do 4K. And even if you do play on a 4K monitor or TV, you still gotta figure out your refresh rates and stuff like that. So
exactly. Here's the issue I was gonna bring up. I don't know what kind of TV you play on. But I have in my living room, I have my Xbox One S connected to Vizio 62-inch. I believe it's 4K. It's an M series.
Okay.
But Vizio is a great and affordable TV. It's reliable. On the other hand, obviously Sony, it's 4K. I feel like that's real. That's quote unquote true 4K. Definitely but that's another like $2,000 based off of Vizio TV, which is like what, $600-$800 only compared to that.
Yeah.
Sony has definitely great like 4K quality, but is it worth it? Like, is it worth like, the expense just to play a 4K console on it,
Yeah, exactly.
Because here's an issue I've been running into with my Xbox, and I guess whenever I try to set it to the highest like resolution, sometimes my TV turns off by itself because it can't handle the resolution, and it's supposedly 4K. So that's why I'm like, do I really need a 4K, or can my TV actually handle the Xbox Series X?
Yeah.
Or should I just stick with the Series S? So that way I can be able to handle it. I can be able to play it without any issues.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then again, all TVs are different. Like, you just have to test out and see what works best for you.
Yeah. It's true. And that's a huge issue with a lot of like the next gen consoles. Like, people are just they don't have the technology to play these games in the resolutions that the systems are outputting.
Right.
There's great videos on YouTube that explain like the whole science behind it, and like I'm not smart enough to understand it, but I just play on my computer monitor. I just hook it up to my capture card and I play on I have it's just a 1080p 120 hertz gaming monitor. So it's super smooth. The movement is super smooth on it, and it can reproduce 120 frames easily. But I'm just not I'm not a big graphics doesn't break it or sell it to me. So
yep, same here. It's more, I guess for me, more nowadays it's about the processor, the storage.
Yeah.
And because there's a video I sent you before we started this. I have an Xbox One S. I play Borderlands 3 frequently. I used to play it a lot more often. It took probably like 5-10 minutes just to boot up the game.
Wow.
Then there's like they update it to now where it has a loading screen so you know how long it's gonna take to load.
Yeah.
And when I saw the video I sent you, it's a comparison of the Series X and the Xbox One S. And it's seconds.
Yeah.
That where the game is fully loaded. I'm like, okay, I'm sold. Like this is something I definitely need.
Yeah.
Like regardless, like this is an upgrade I can use.
Oh yeah. And that's something.
Yeah. Sorry, you were gonna say?
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say like this is why I could use the upgrade right now.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, the Xbox Series X and the Series S definitely do have an advantage as far as that. I mean, both the PS5 and the Xbox are going to be using now SSDs, which like boot up games instantly. It's amazing. Right. But what a huge advantage that I also think, I don't know if you would ever use this, is quick resume, where you can like literally minimize, or I don't like to call it minimize because it's not really a computer, but you can just swap between games. They can both be running at the same time, and if you're playing, let's say, Borderlands on one Borderlands on the Xbox, and you like, oh, let me boot up in the background Forza Horizon for some reason. I don't know why you would ever use it, but you can switch between games like instantly. That's awesome. Yeah. So it kind of just has the game running in the background, and I don't think it's very demanding on the processor. So that's something that the Xbox does have over the PS5. It's just multi-app. Like, just I don't know what to call it.
Yeah.
I don't even know how you would use quick resume. Like, I'm trying to think of like a situation where you're like, you know what? Let me go open up another game real quick and then come back to this game. Like,
I feel like for me personally, I can see that like online if I'm playing a single player game right now, and
I guess so.
Say I have a friend that's saying like, oh, let's play Borderlands 3. Okay, yeah, sure. How long are you going to be on? Oh, I'll be on in like 10 minutes, and then you already loaded the game. You're like, oh, okay.
That's true.
And you go back to switching your single player game, and then when they're online and they're ready, you switch to the other game.
That makes a lot of sense now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Because
me and some of my streamer friends, they play a lot of different PC games. So it's just like, I'm like, I can't just buy all of the games because the next day you're playing a different game. So it's just like, I can't do that. I'm like a person that's just, I stay on one game for a long time.
Yeah.
And if there's something else that attracts me, then I buy that game. But these PC friends of mine, they switch to a new game every day. I'm like, I can't do that. That's exhausting.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that's, I mean, never mind. There's still some more specifics on this. Sure. Video, they're both capable of 8K. I'm guessing for like Netflix and watching just videos on YouTube. Another thing, I don't know of anybody who has an 8K TV.
Maybe someone who lives in a mansion. Bill Gates.
Probably, yeah.
Okay, it's Elon Musk.
Audio, I mean, yeah, pretty standard. Ports, this was a huge one, and people kept saying that the PS5, first of all, it doesn't even come with an HDMI 2.1 cable. It comes with I think just a normal HDMI 2.0. I think 2.1 is just higher transfer rates. So, I think you have less delays on your video signal. The Xbox Series X, apparently, I was watching, Wolf Den. I think they're mostly just well, they do all kinds of video game videos, but they did a video on comparing both consoles, the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5. Apparently, the cable that comes with the Xbox Series X makes the PS5 play better.
Really?
Yeah, better than the one that comes in with the PS5 with the HDMI. So,
because I see it says ultra high speed HDMI.
Yeah,
and high speed HDMI. I'm like, what's the difference?
Yeah. So even with little things like that, the Xbox has an advantage with that.
I can see that.
Yeah, I think the rest are just shared characteristics.
Yeah.
I mean, just the design, super different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Still unsure which console is the right one. Help me choose. I guess that's what I'm going to be doing.
Yeah.
This is another thing we're opposite on. I'm on the digital train.
Really?
Yeah. I have like bulks of games and like I feel like it filled up my, whatever, I don't even know what to call it. Just under my TV, I just have like storage. It's like completely full. And then where I put these and I like rest of these games and I just put them in a box. I'm just like, I can't I can't hoard, man. Like,
yeah, it's too much.
So,
yeah.
I got digital.
Yeah. I do a combination currently, but yeah, I definitely prefer physical. It hasn't gotten to that point yet, but I do. Like I have a couple of cases here. It's mostly Switch games on my desk because I can't fit them on my entertainment center anymore. But yeah, no, it's gonna be the future. I think digital is just physical is gonna be completely phased out, unfortunately. Much as I hate it, but it's a lot cheaper for developers. It's a lot cheaper for console makers.
Mm-hmm.
Like they save up on shipping. They save on printing these things, on making copies. When they can just download a digital code.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, we'll see, man.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else, man?
Not really. I mean, I guess it's funny because I know you're a PlayStation guy and I'm an Xbox guy, but I feel like you've definitely convinced me more to stick with Xbox than PlayStation.
I mean,
I guess we'll have to wait and see what games release and which ones are exclusive to both.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty objective when it comes to that stuff. I mean, I always tell people get what you want, get whatever makes you happy, and like, I will never lie to someone saying that the PS5 is more powerful than the Xbox when it's clearly not. But yeah, Microsoft should pay me right now for being such a great salesperson.
Seriously, I guess. Well, I mean, like next time we talk, we'll see like what we end up getting, what ends up selling more. I think obviously it's going to be the PS5.
Yeah,
but it all depends like which has more in stock and whatnot.
Exactly. Yeah. 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 Well, hopefully I get my shipping email soon and I get a PS5. Yeah, so I can start doing videos on that. Yeah. But with that, folks, I've been True Fernie. Art.
I'm TheRockett.
TheRockett.
Twitch.tv/TheRockett with 2 T's, not just one.
Yep. I'm gonna link down all of our socials down below in the video description. Also links to the stuff we talked about in this episode are gonna be linked down below as well. If you like this video, please go ahead and make sure to like and subscribe. Please make sure to follow me on Twitch and follow Art on Twitch. He's a way better streamer than I am, so
stop. Don't go there. We just both play different games.
Yeah, we just Sure, we'll say that. But yeah, everything's gonna be linked down below. And then with that, I mean, I have nothing else to say except
call it a wrap. Let's thank you for joining us.
yeah.
I hope to do this again with you sometime. Like maybe we can even have other guests.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm all for yes, man.
cool. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, this was fun. I appreciate you. Thank you for inviting me. We talked for
man.
like what, over almost 2 hours? That's crazy.
And around we've been trying to set up for like 2 hours, but yeah, almost 2 hours.
That's perfect.
Yeah. Perfect
I can
timing.
definitely see us doing this again.
Yeah,
But yeah,
for sure.
thank you so much for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. With that, take care of each other, but most importantly, take care of yourself. Peace.